Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So today is update day. On PC the servers will be down at these times. A little bit different for consoles. But here we can see all of the changes upcoming, and very excitedly this comes with the class updates. We do have some content and environment updates with the new trial, Demogorgon quest, and then with the new zone Spelljammer, some fixes to quests, most notably the weekly quest, which requires buzz jewels, will now be a lot more easier to complete. There will be a new special boss which will appear halfway through invasions with increased rewards. Feel free to check that out. And your fetch quest within your Tyranny of Dragons should now properly be fixed. On the Barbarian, your on the move feat should now properly apply the movement speed to all players. Moving to the Cleric, the Arbiter, massive improvements to its multi-target damage, with having Burning Patch being able to critically strike now, your Chains of Blazing Light actually dealing damage, your Searing Javelin now allowing you to cast it just as a line attack. It's going to go right where you aim your reticle, but horizontally out from your character. Sunburst, you can now cast it without it performing the knockback by just quick casting it. You can fully charge it to still get the knockback. The Rogue, some daily power updates just to make them a little bit more competitive, but ultimately Path of Blades did get quite the hit, reducing its damage. Lashing Blade got an increase with its stealth effect, changing to a 300 extra magnitude hit. Stealth regeneration penalty overall has been decreased by 40%, so when you take damage. And then the Whisper Knife power gun, some massive updates here. Overall, it makes it a ton more competitive in single target content, and its multi-target capabilities have just gone up. Its stealth regeneration was increased like massively, so it's now be far easier to regain that and then just absolutely annihilate everything. You may very well be like the best in multi-target content now. But with the Assassin, there was a few changes here with Assassin's Target and Toxic Blades, making them very competitive with each other, and just some improvements there. You may very well want to use Assassin's Target in single target. It will depend on the fight, and you'll have to check out people's builds. But Wicked Reminder did finally get fixed with this critical avoidance debuff to actually properly work, but it did get rebalanced to 5%. So you can use this to support the team and also increase your damage. And companion bonuses did get fixed, so that the companion player bonuses that have those on hit effects will actually deal competitive damage and can be very viable to use. Certain ones at least. I did test them all out, and I would highly recommend you check my data on that with this video right here, the new improved companion bonuses. But this was my list here, and you can see that these top three are pretty good in regards to damage versus, let's say, to use stats, at least on the Rogue. And otherwise, the Flump got that nerf. With the mounts, the Celestial Lion and the Neverwinter Hand, the shields that they provide has gone down to 20% instead of 30%. But they will now stack with other player granted powers. So the Paladin's Divine Shelter will now stack with this mount power. This makes it useful for mitigation checks, and you can actually use it then to give everybody some more hit points on top of what you would already have gained. Moving on, we have named enemies in Wild Space will now properly have the chance to drop the Space Gown fashion gear. You can check that in the collections here. That's the full set, and you'll now be able to actually get it. And I assume from the auction house as well, as it should drop unbound. And the Astral Sea Tendril Artifact set bonus will now properly deal the correct amount of damage. We will have to check that out, but it should deal as it is displayed in the tooltip. You can check the set just here, and that should deal the damage depending on your HP threshold. And that is ultimately it for today's update. Very good to see those improvements to the Arbiter AoE and also Rogue Whisper Knife. Not so happy about the change to Path of Blades, but it is what it is. I guess they needed to balance it so to have its damage more in line with all those new changes to companion equip bonuses. Otherwise, it might be a little bit overpowered with those. Those of you who are fighter DPS, you can look forward to some future updates coming down the road as well. Those are in the works, in testing, and they should come to the preview server soon and then get pushed to live a little bit later. I'm surprised how quickly these got pushed out with Rogue and Cleric, but I think right now Whisper Knife will probably be a bit overpowered in a coordinated group, and again, I'll do some more testing on that. I'll come out with builds for Assassin now and also Whisper Knife, and we'll see how things go. A massive thank you again to all of these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.